my channel. So today I'm going to be finally playing with the Morphe 35R palette. It's pretty dirty. That means I like it. I've been playing with kind of different colors and different looks, but the first look that I came up with it was this one, and you guys really liked it on Snapchat, so I wanted to recreate it for you. I personally love it so much. I think it is so pretty, neutral, but yet really dramatic. I use kind of two-tone metallics on the lid and some dark smokiness in the outer crease. I'm loving it. I hope you guys do. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Also, be sure that if you're not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Also, there is a little notification bell. You will see it either, you know, here or somewhere. If you click the notification bell, you will get notified whenever I post a video so you don't miss anything. YouTube's getting crazy and I feel like I miss stuff. I wanted this video to be a talk through, but it was raining super hard. My fiance's watching some kind of movie in the living room, so we're gonna do a voiceover. Hope you don't mind. Okay, so I may have gone a little crazy with the tweezers, so excuse the redness in between my brows, but I'm just going in and priming my skin using the Smashbox Photofinish primer. This is a color correcting one. It's a green tone, which will help cover up any redness. And then I'm going in with the Mercier Silk Cream Moisturizing Foundation, which I have been using pretty much non-stop for 2 months. I really love it. I never hear anything about it. And then I'm going to take the NYX Dark Circle Concealer. I was feeling really confident about my shorter nails, but I still can't fit them in the pot. So I'm going in with my brush and just tapping this underneath my eyes. It's a peachy tone, which will combat any of that like blue or purple underneath the eyes. I just tap it in with my finger and it makes a huge difference. Yes. And then I'm going in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer to add some more high coverage underneath the eyes, down the center of the nose, on the chin, and in between my brows. And I do use a lighter shade. This is going to help these features kind of come out. And then, of course, we'll add some contour later to kind of carve out the face. I'm also taking this concealer over the eyelids to help prep for any eyeshadows that we'll be adding. And you guys know I'm loyal to the Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, but I've been mixing it with the Mercier Translucent Powder. Never been a fan of that powder before, but now I love it. I guess that's how things go, right? And I'm taking a healthy amount of that and just putting it everywhere that we put that concealer to set it, and we will brush off the excess later, don't worry. Now, something different I have been doing is setting the rest of my face with the Mercier Translucent Powder, and I'm tapping it in with my sponge. I am using a decent amount of powder, but I will be brushing off the excess. It just gives a really nice, smooth finish. I've still had some texture I'm not used to on my face since I shaved my whole face. We're not going to talk about that. To warm up my skin, I'm taking my favorite Milk Chocolate Soleil Bronzer by Too Faced and just taking this giant fluffy brush. Don't do anything like too structured these days, just kind of adding some warmth and then running it underneath the jawline, also down the neck. Kind of like, you know, faking a tan, acting like I've been in the sun when I haven't. And I never talk about this palette, and I've been trying to use it more. This is the Tarte Tarteist Pro Glow, and I'm taking the shade Sculpt, which is a beautiful shade to kind of add more shadow on that contour and also up on the very top of the forehead. And then I'll just kind of tap it in with that large brush. For brows, I'm taking my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade number 2. I'm just going to make a defined line underneath. I have to fill in the arch because it is extremely sparse and kind of weak. Like my brows are super weak, so I have to, like, you know, do some major reconstructing. And they're super uneven too. Then I'm taking the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette and taking the shade Naked 2 just to fill in any sparseness, especially on that arch and on the tail of the brow, not too much on the beginning. In the beginning, what I like to do is go back in with that pencil and create little hair-like strokes. And then I'm taking a concealer. This is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in the shade NW15, just to tidy things up and also to create a little bit of contrast because I don't use like brown eyebrow products. I use a blonde, and then I just kind of add some shape with that lighter concealer around and just tap out the excess. Now taking the Morphe 35R palette and just taking this cream shade just to set the concealer we put on there, and this will help shadows blend better. And then going in with this mid-tone shade and taking this in the upper crease area with a large fluffy brush. I love that shade in the palette. It's much different than the other like browns I have. I don't know what is different, but I love it. And then I went in with a different brush with more of a pointed tip just to work this directly into the crease area. Same shade we used before, just kind of adding some depth with that. Next, I'm taking this shade, which is a few shades darker, but pretty much the same tone, and I'm tapping that into the crease, like tight in the crease, and then slightly working it on the outer part of the crease there. I'm kind of cupping my crease a lot, creating a more like rounder shape. And once I don't have any product on my brush, I'm just going to slightly buff that into the middle of the crease, just so that it's not too harsh towards the front of the eye. Next, I'm taking this almost black brown shade, and I'm tapping this with a tiny little pointed brush onto the outer V. Very tight in the outer V, and we already have our face makeup done, so I'm being very precise with this. So I add a little bit at a time, and then, you know, tap some more product to add some more depth, and then blend it back in. So keeping that rounded shape and keeping that towards the outer third. I don't want to go too far on the center of the eye yet. To blend that out, I'm going back in with the brush that we had before with the same shade we used before to kind of tap over that and blend it out. And then taking a fluffier brush and kind of blending that up towards the crease. That way we're getting a nice gradient built. I'm going to do the same process one more time to really make this super smoky, adding that darkest, almost black brown shade, tapping the middle shade that we used, and then going in with that fluffy brush to really buff things out and make sure it meets up with our transition shade nicely. Now I'm going back in with my concealer and I'm cutting out the front part of my crease. I love this technique. I think it just adds something extra to the look. So I'm just adding this above where my natural crease is because I do have hooded eyes, and only going to the center part of the eye, and I'm going to make sure that blends kind of halfway into the eyeshadow. Then I'm taking the lightest shimmery shade in the palette and tapping this over the concealed area. I did use a wet brush, and then I'm going in with the second lightest shade. It's more gold, and I'm tapping this right on the edge of where our eyeshadow, like the darker shade, meets and that lighter shade, just in the middle there. And then once I've worked kind of all the product off, I just start doing these like back and forth tapping motions to blend. I'm going to go back in with a brush just to make sure that we didn't cover any of that dark brown with too much shimmer, to make sure it's still deep and dark. And this isn't meant for your waterline, but I put the Benefit Highbrow in my waterline. For the lower lash line, I'm taking this mid-tone brown shade and working it under the lower lash line. Then going to take a fluffier brush and going in with that second shade we used before, and I'm really making sure that I'm adding that on the outer edge, but making sure that we have that nice rounded shape on the outer edge to meet up with the upper lid. And I went in with this shade, which is just a couple more shades darker, and added it on the outer edge of the lower lash line, and again just made sure that it kind of rounded up into the lid, just making sure everything is nice and cohesive. For my inner corner highlight, I've been loving the Makeup Forever Starlight powder. I think it's in the number 11. So nice. I use it on a wet brush, and that stuff is intense. Also, like, kind of halfway worked it into the lid as well. To sharpen up the face a little more, I'm going to add my big beard with the Laura Mercier translucent powder, just tapping that, creating a sharp line, and then adding some more product with my beauty sponge. And you're just going to let that sit while you complete a few more tasks. I'm going to contour my nose with this powder from Laura Geller. It's actually foundation powder, but it works for my nose. And I'm just, you know, not really too strategically contouring my nose, just adding some shape on the sides and really making sure that I'm buffing that out. I am pale, so I have to be careful. I'm also going to bake the sides of my nose. I don't know, I see people on the internet doing it, and I want to try it too. For my glow, I'm using my favorite palette, the Anastasia Nicole Guerriero Glow Kit, and mixing those two shades, and I just love that highlight. It is legit like glass on your face. It's amazing. But just adding this onto the cheekbones, a little bit above the brow, which I've been really liking. Also, of course, on the tip of the nose, down the center, and then I go pretty hard on the upper lip because I have small little baby lips. And I like to go in and just do a final blend over all those to make sure it's like super smooth. And then for blush, I'm taking this Smashbox blush palette and just taking these neutral blushes. One was a little bit more matte, one was a little bit more shimmery, and just popping those on the cheeks. And then I'm going to dust off all that extra powder that was sitting underneath, and it will kind of reveal more of a structured contour without me having to add too dark of shades. And then I'm just setting my face with the Urban Decay, what is that? All-Nighter spray? Yeah, and then the Max Fix Plus, of course. I try not to use it, and then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to use that. Then I set my brows down with some soap. If you don't know about that, I have a video on it, but just, yeah, setting those babies down, plastering them down. I've been being good and trying to add my mascara before my lashes, so that's what I'm doing. This is the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara, and then the lashes I'm using today are my new favorite, the Allure Opulent Lashes. Makes such a difference. For the lips, I'm taking this lip liner from Jordana in the shade Rockin' Rose just to line the lips. I've been doing that recently to be sure that I don't like go too crazy with overlining them, and then taking the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick in the shade Mannequin. Love this shade, super nice. And to lighten it up a little bit, I'm taking the Too Faced liquid lipstick in the shade Child Star, and then just went along the edges with that lip liner. That's pretty much my favorite lip combo right now. I hope you guys like this look. I pretty much love it so much. I wish I could wear it every day. But yeah, I'm just going to take off this ugly headband and, you know, fluff my hair until I look presentable. Give you guys a couple, you know, one times right there. Yes. Work it. And if you want to be even more extra, which I am, I like to take highlight and pop it on my, what do you call those things? Collarbones? Clavicles? I don't even know what the word is. And don't forget your shoulders. But this is the final look, guys. I hope that you guys like it. I love it. I think it's really nice. I think this look would pretty much suit everyone. So I hope that you guys like it. If you try it out, let me know. I would love to see it. Don't forget to always leave any video suggestions in the comments or any questions. I always reply. So yes, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. And I hope that you guys like it. If you want to see, no, I'm not going to say that. I always say that. And I will see you in my next video. Bye. No, that's weird. But as always, thank you so, that was weird. Let's go ahead and get into this tutorial. I don't know. I need to stop.